Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. So I thought I would do something a little bit different with this video because you usually tend to see just the training video, some music over, and just a description of the exercises. So today I'm going to show you an actual running commentary of my full leg workout that I did. So let's get right to it. I always start off my leg workouts with some banded glute activation work. It's really important to just fire up the glutes, get them warmed up, get the hips moving, get the glutes fired up, get some blood to the muscle before starting on with the heavy lifts. So as you just saw, I was doing some banded squats. The resistance bands, you can literally find them from like Amazon, really cheap. So I started off with banded squats, feet out quite wide, pushing through my heels, squeezing, contracting my glutes at the top. I have now moved on to some banded kickbacks, so I'm just holding on to the side. I apologise for the angle, it's because I was just filming myself and I just wanted to make sure that you could see what position my legs are in and how I'm lifting up my toes there, so I'm really driving through my heel. Focus on squeezing the glute at the top. So for my next glute activation exercise, I lie down, I'm doing the glute bridge. So for this, you can change your foot position to hit different parts of the glutes. For me at this point, I was keeping my heels together, tipping my toes out either side, each way, leaning back, really coming up, squeezing through the heels and just focus on squeezing my glutes at the top. Not too much overextending and arching of the back, just a nice little squeeze, really activating those glutes. Firing up, like I said, keeping the knees pushed out, my back's dug into the ground, my upper back's dug in, and I'm just really focusing on that squeeze and contraction at the top. So I pretty much repeated this little circuit about 2 to 3 times just to get the glutes fired, and as you can see here, I finished off with just some nice little pulses just to get that booty burn and then holding at the top. Okay, so for my first exercise, I started on sumo deadlifts. So sumo deadlifts are amazing for the hamstrings and the glutes because of the wide stance with your hands narrow. It takes away a lot of the pressure off your lower back. It's not like a full deadlift. You're not having to extend your back at the top. As you can see, my feet are pretty wide and my grip is narrow. I like to use the wrist straps to really get a good tight grip on the bar. But as you can see from this video, I was really struggling to put them on, which was just sending me mad, putting me out the zone. So I just took one off, strapped up my right wrist and just got started on. So you literally just wrap them around. It just gives you that little extra grip, especially when you're going a little bit heavier. So as you can see from here, my feet are positioned, my lower back's really nice and tight and bending my knees, sinking into my hips and my glutes, driving up through the glutes. As you can see, I apologise, the little wobble on the camera as I dropped that weight down. It was pretty heavy. I'd already done a warm-up set, so the bar is always 20 kilos to start with, and then I started on 2 10 plates aside, so I was warming up on 40 kilo, and now I've actually pushed it to around 70 kilo, and I'm going for about 8 to 10 reps. So like I said, really focusing on squeezing the glutes in the top, bending my hips and knees down into each lift. So moving on to my next set, I added some weight again and I've now pushed it up to 80 kilo for my full working set. So I was aiming for about 8 reps with these. So again, from a different angle, as you can see, I'm bending down, sitting right down into my heels and my hips. My lower back is really tight, my chest is up, and I'm really switching on and activating my lats before I lift that bar up. Again, I apologise, the camera started to shake because I was filming myself. I tried to wrap the tripod around a piece of equipment, and just because the bar's pretty heavy, when you slam it down, it was just shaking. So I apologise for that. But I hope you can see here from my form, like I said, locking the lower back out tight. I take a big deep breath in at the bottom of every rep. It's really important to really hold everything in. It's something I recommend for my clients as well with squats and deadlifts. It's taking that massive deep breath in, making sure your core is really nice and tight, activating your lats before each lift. As you can see from the video, they are pretty switched on. I'm sinking down into my heels, driving through my heels. Don't let any pressure come from your toes. It's really important to lift from the heels of your feet, especially when hitting hamstrings and glutes. Just making sure You don't want to be causing any injury when you're lifting from your toes, especially with your knees. Any strain on the knees isn't good. And you can see from the top here, I can really switch on my glutes at the top, getting nice and deep, and then lifting up through my heels and squeezing those glutes at the top. So I felt pretty strong with these, and I'm pretty happy with how these went for my first exercise. You bring me comfort to my soul. So second exercise of this workout is the girls' favourites, barbell hip thrust, glute bridges, whatever you want to call them. This is a great exercise for the glutes, for building the glutes. It's probably recognised as one of the top favourites for building and developing the glutes. I don't know if you guys have heard of Brett Contreras. He is known to be like the glute doctor, the glute wizard. Check him out on Instagram or YouTube. He has a lot of research behind glute building and what exercises are most efficient, and he definitely recommends the barbell hip thrust, which is what you can see from this video here. So again, I started off with a working weight, the bar's 20, and I think I had 2 10s either side. So starting off at 60 kilo, just to get the glutes nice and fired up. I like to give myself a good warm-up set before of my working sets, just to let my body, let my muscles know what I'm about to do, what I'm about to work, and just get comfortable with the exercise before sticking that heavy weight on, which is what you can see from here. So I then added some weight on. I think I was hitting about 80 kilo here. Again, driving through my heels, my toes are really not touching the floor almost, they're almost lifted up, and I'm really getting nice and high with my hips. Really squeezing, glutes at the top. Again, no need to overextend at the back, just get that nice contraction in the glutes, taking a big deep breath in, hold that pause, hold that squeeze at the top of each movement, and get those glutes fired up. So moving on to exercise number 3, it's the single leg press. I was meant to really kind of try and do it at more of a horizontal angle, but this gym doesn't have a horizontal leg press. It's just got more of the linear vertical ones, which is fine. So as you can see here, I am pushing just through one leg. My other leg is firmly flat on the floor. The actual pad itself was about 50 kilo, and I've also got a 15 kilo plate on one side, so it's about 65 kilo that I'm single leg pressing. I'm taking a 3-second tempo and a 1-second up, so that means 3 seconds on the way down. Again, all the drive is coming from my heel, and then a 1 second on the way back up. Keeping that tension on my glutes, my hamstrings and quads. I'm really feeling it in this one. And again, to be honest, I haven't done single leg press in a while. I normally just do double leg press, which is good because you can go pretty heavy with it. But I feel like with a single leg press, you can go a lot deeper, and you can really just focus on a single muscle group at the time. Focus on one leg at a time and just really get that mind to muscle connection through my heel, driving through my heel. Focus on pause at the top, that 3 second on the way down, squeezing my quads, hamstrings, glutes, and yeah, just found this was really good. So let me know if you've done the single leg press before. If not, give it a go because you will really feel it. So moving on to exercises number 4. So this is actually going to be a superset, starting with the glute raise. Again, really all now focused on the glutes. Definitely not overextending at the top. You can do a full hyperextension, which can really hit your lower back, which, to be honest, even with this certain angle, and even I'm really focusing on the squeeze of my glute, you can still hit a little bit of your lower back, which is absolutely fine. But as you can see here, I'm just getting nice and low, really digging into those glutes, and just pretty much halfway up, getting quite horizontal and just focusing the squeeze of the glutes. It really hits into your under glutes, a little bit of hamstrings, and like I said, you will feel it a little bit in your lower back. So then I supersetted this exercise with some static lunges. To be honest, static lunges are a little bit of my nemesis. I'm alright with walking lunges, I'm alright with reverse lunges, but static lunges, I don't know, I just don't really like them. But I always say, whatever exercise that you have that you are struggling with, keep practicing and practicing it until you get good at it. You can practice anything you want until you get good at it. Never give up on something just because you're feeling like you're struggling with it. You may not be able to feel as strong with it. Just keep on practicing, keep on digging deep, keep on finding ways that can improve your technique, finding ways where you can build on your strength with it and trying to push and increase those weights. So again, I'm using some wrist straps just to wrap my hands around those dumbbells. I've got 15 kilo dumbbells, and again, I'm just driving through that front heel, digging that front heel right into the ground, and it's a really good focus and a bit of emphasis on the quads. So this felt good. I was hitting about, I think it's about 8 to 10 reps on each leg, and I was alternating my legs with this. So this supersetting with the extensions with my glute raises is great, and I definitely felt the burn. So exercise number 5 or 6, should we say, we have got the seated hamstring curl. So this was just 2 sets on here, and I went for about 12 to 15 reps. So you can see that my back is really tight, locked against the back of the seat. I really make sure my knees and my legs are secure into the seat, and I aim to go pretty heavy with these. I think I was hitting about 46, 48 kilos. I really do feel that my hamstrings can take a lot more weight and force than my quads. It's always just been that way, so I feel like I can get quite heavy and get a good mind to muscle connection with my hamstrings. So I was hitting about 12 to 15, again trying to get that weight on the bar all the way under, stretching all the way to the top and stretching out the hamstrings and then contracting them at the bottom. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, we have got dumbbell step-ups. So Josh said on the plan that to keep the weight a little bit lighter, really focus on form. So what I'm doing here, I've kept my right leg on the bench and I'm driving through that right heel. So again, not much weight at all is coming through my toe. I'm keeping that tension on my glutes. I'm really trying to keep my knee nice and straight and parallel. Like I said, just focus that form, really pushing through that right heel. Focus on my glutes coming up and back down, contracting at the top. I really felt this, even though I was using about like 10 to 12 kilo dumbbells, I think it was. It felt a little bit lighter, but going a little bit lighter and just focusing on the movement, focus on keeping on my form, focus on driving through my heel, focus on getting right under in those glutes. Things like the step-ups and split squats are really good for developing under the glutes, that kind of like glute hamstring tie-in. So as you can see here, I kept my form pretty good. I kept my knees really nice and straight, my chest stood up, my core was nice and tight. And yeah, this felt pretty good. So finishing off with my last superset, I was starting off with abductors. Now I'm hitting about 20 to 25 reps with these. This is an absolute killer for your outer glutes. Again, digging my lower back into the seat, getting as wide as I can, focus on squeezing, contracting my outer glutes as I bring that weight out to the side. And like I said, hitting about 20 to 25 reps with these. It's an absolute burner, especially after that long leg session. As you can see, there were quite a lot of exercises, a lot of volume to what I've been used to with this previous training plan, so it felt really good to just get an absolute burn on with my glutes. And like I said, I've supersetted this with some goblet squats. So using a pretty heavy dumbbell, I had about 22 kilo dumbbell with my heels elevated. I'm not sure if you can quite see them in the video, which I apologize, but I've got my heels raised on like 2 little plates. So my feet are quite wide, my toes are slightly out, all the pressure now is coming again from my heels, keeping my knees out, pushing them out, focusing on my outer glutes. Again, using the 3-second tempo, so 3 seconds on the way down and a 1 second on the way up. Focus on really squeezing my glutes. Again, that 3-second tempo is just a little bit more tension in my glutes, my quads, my hamstrings, everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, by these last couple of sets, it was absolutely burning, and I was going for about 15 reps with these. And that was for 2 sets of them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've actually really enjoyed doing the commentary over my training. Comment below if you want to see more videos like this, purely of my training and me going through all the exercises. Hope to see you all on the next one, and love you all. Thank you for watching. Peace.